Welcome to the Mashup.
Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit to stand and fall to fly. Of all of my impulsive plans, popping, locking, salsa dances on demand. I follow leading off the map, I stop the chatter, scream happily.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Welcome to the mashup. Welcome to the welcome to the mashup.
Welcome to the Mashup.
What is up, Mashup? You know, when Sean asked me to come on and maybe chat with you guys for a little bit, I didn't really think about what he was saying. This is your 222nd episode. The reason that's so shocking to me is, as a guy that's done a podcast for years, I know that is a shocking amount of preparation, consistency, and dedication. And it's really stunning to me that twos of all people would be able to do that. No, I'm just kidding. I am so excited for you guys. You know, I have to say, a good story worth telling is probably my first impression of you twos. You know, when I first heard of you, you were on Sean's podcast, and he went from having this podcast where he's intensely interviewing politicians and trying to figure stuff out, and then he once a week starts having this guy on that's like the zany zoo in the morning and saying crazy stuff that I would never expect, off the wall. And so I was like, I don't know about this guy. I don't know that he's a great addition to whatever Sean is building over there. But I listened. You know, it's a little like that Howard Stern thing. Even if you dislike something, you're listening to be like, what crazy thing is he going to say next? And then I got to come to one of the Sean Newman Presents events, the one with Steve Barber and Quick Dick McDick, which is amazing that ever came together. And I sat next to you at dinner. And in that dinner, I got to hear about the trip that you've been on and where you started from in life and the various decisions you've made and what's informed those decisions and your education and what you read and what you study. And all of a sudden, your humor started to make a lot more sense. Your outlandishness really was well informed, and you are performing an act that I certainly can't do, but the world needs. You are a jester. You are somebody that can get people to laugh at themselves and to laugh at the other people and kind of galvanize thinking in different ways about it. And I think you have been an excellent addition to the Sean Newman podcast. All those 222 episodes ago, you are now not a new addition. You're like the OG person that has been around there. And I'm really sorry I couldn't hop on. What a monumentous event. And I wish I could give you a harder time, but you know, you're always the funny man. And I just stand in awe of the things you're willing to say. So I hope you guys have a great episode. Say something wild on my behalf. And I will tune in and hear what you guys had to say.
Happy anniversary on your Tuesday.
Hey, Twos. You're the smartest redneck I know, and occasionally you're even a little bit funny.
Uncle Twos, missed you last week. Glad you made it this time for the 222nd of the Mashup, and let's get this show on the road.
Hey, Twos. Shane here. It's not often there's 222 and then you show up in an episode at 222 and it also matches your name. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but hoping you and Sean the best today in the mashup. And sorry I couldn't be there, but we're on tour. We've got a group of folks from India, from Mumbai, and all the Bollywood crowd, and we're shooting lots of the attributes of Alberta, showing some connections here. So we'll tell you all about it next time we're on the show, but big congratulations. And sorry I couldn't do maybe a little bit of a roast online for you today. You fellas take care and all the best, guys.
Twos, congratulations on 222 episodes. Everything from making fun of Elizabeth May and explaining jokes to Sean, to letting us know where commas and apostrophes are supposed to go. You're the man. Thanks for 222 episodes, and here's to 222 more.
Good morning. Still from the left coast, and not Alberta yet. Congratulations, Twos, on your 222th episode of the Mashup. Have a great one.
Hey, Sean and Twos, Tyler here. Hey, congratulations on 222 episodes. Looking forward to many more. Been listening to you from day one. Absolutely love the banter and the comical relief you give to the state of our country right now. The time you guys started talking about the spawn spiel, I knew exactly what Two's had in mind. So glad that after relentless pictures and messages from me, you guys decided to have it in Calmer and were able to play a part. So keep it up. Looking for the next time we can help you at the Von spiel or the Mash spiel. And have a great day. Thanks, guys.
Now, I know we're getting real emotional on Mashup 222, but you finally showed up, which is nice. You know, you finally decided to show up because everybody was on me. Where's Mashup 222? Like, well, Mr. 222 isn't going to be here. We're not doing it. And then I thought, we're going to have this sentimental start. So why don't we just jack in Uncle Hack, San Guido, and here we go. Because I'm like, we're going to have a little fun on 222. And it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I don't know.
My day. Today is my day.
That's right. So, Uncle Hack, thanks for hopping in. We've got a lovely show today. I'm sure it's going to be a ton of fun. You can't hear us?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
We can hear you.
What the hell?
Just reply to whatever it is that you think we might be saying. We'll just move our lips and you can reply.
Well, welcome to Mashup 222, where you think it's going to go smooth. It's live show here, folks. So buckle up. We got some interesting guests coming on today, including maybe Uncle Hack. Can you hear us now?
There we go.
All right. We're cooking with gas.
So, first off, Uncle Hack, thanks for hopping on. We a little sentimental at the start. I wanted to, it's Tuesday, we've got episode 222, Mr. 222 here. And I thought we'd bring on some people, have some fun with some of the headlines. But if you're liking the show, folks, make sure to share it out today. And happy Airborne Friday to all the military boys. Now, Twos, where do you want to go with Uncle Hack? I'll let you two figure it out.
Well, I mean, right off the bat, we'd mentioned real quick. So there's been a lot of celebrity deaths this week for some reason. So I'm sure, as you guys are aware of, we just had Dolly Parton die. And then the next day after that was Tim Curry. And then the next day after that was Peter Cullen, who you may not recognize the name, but he was the voice of the Australian whatever rat with a mustache from Rescue Rangers, Eeyore, and most importantly,
he was the voice of Eeyore? I didn't know.
Optimus Prime from the cartoons and the movie. Bada bing, bada boom. One after another.
Nice.
You missed Hayden Panettiere. How do I say her name?
That was I guess that was a few days ago, but
so that was last week. We weren't here. She was 36, right? Hayden Panettiere
still is actually.
Whatever.
Drug overdose? What happened there?
That's what I heard.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a damn shame. I always wanted to go out on a date with her. Maybe it's not quite too late.
It's way cooler when it's like something fast and heavy rather than being like, oh, they're just old.
Well, yeah.
Tim Curry, he had a little bit of a heart palpitation while trying to move his wheelchair the other day. Fuck that. I'd rather go out like with a hoorah where people are like, yo, that
Paul
was
Walker style.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been cool though if all three of them had been in a car together and went out Paul Walker style.
That would have been I don't know how fast those carts that go around Walmart go, but
that's fair.
Really banking on a handy bus rolling on that one.
Well, there was this guy in my town who was just his job back in the day was he was just a human crane. Whenever there was something that was way too heavy or way too difficult to do or whatever, they always called Tiger. And that was kind of just how he made his living, just in the general area. Whenever there was something giant that needed moving, he would just go and just haul it. Just absolutely unkillable. And so he finally dies at the age of like 97 on one of those scooters crossing the highway to go to Coffee Row in the morning. Like totally unkillable. The guy was just a raging drunk. I think he'd been hit by a train once or twice. Like, just had this life of just all kinds of stuff that could not kill him. And then finally, when God was like, I give up. And then it took a vehicle traveling at 110 kilometers an hour to hit him on his scooter to finally do the job.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You guys had brought up Jason Kenny and Notley.
No. We're not done with this yet.
You're not done? Okay, all right. I'll shut up. I'm just gonna say. All right.
Dolly Parton.
I don't think Dolly Parton I don't think they could die in a car crash.
And then Peter Cullen, all one day after each other. All right. Now look, I've said before on the mashup that I'm tired of all these pardons, and that I want all these Curry people to just chill the fuck out and go away for a while. And I'm tired of all the trans stuff. This was not what I meant.
Yeah. You didn't want... who's trans in this situation?
The guy who did the Transformer voice.
Oh, Prime. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, we could talk about Jason Kenny.
All right.
Well, it might be the funniest thing in the entirety of this show today is the fact that Notley and Jason Kenny have teamed up.
We're not going to be able to make a joke better than this.
I mean, they're joining forces to campaign against.
Yeah. What? There's not much force to speak of there.
Yeah.
At all.
No, it's like I was telling you before. It's like the Blue Meanie and Doink the Clown making a tag team partnership, trying to take a run at the top. It is like when you see those two together, you're just like, you know what? Maybe American doesn't sound that bad. That's the only thought that goes through my brain when they first announced it. I looked at the article and I was like, this has to be like one of those like CP24. Somebody modified it just to irritate me today. And then you see multiple news sources reporting on it. And you're like, yeah, you know what? Montana does look pretty fucking nice this time of year. Maybe, maybe we just join it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's that, but this is the best and brightest they could put forward. This is their A team. Mm-hmm. You've got one accidental premier and one who showed up just long enough for people to go, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Who's next? Heather McPherson and Janice Irwin? What the fuck?
Well, it's funny you should mention it.
Danielle Smith's government is pushing a referendum that could fundamentally change our province and change our relationship with Canada.
You don't say Heather McPherson. It's literally a referendum about separation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say her 3 times and the blue waffle shows up in your mirror.
Well. I like the stuff they're putting out, like that video, it looks like a hostage video. Like there's no happy sort of fun, like, hey, you know what, we've got a good way forward. It's my life sucks and everything's been a disappointment, and I haven't made the connection between that and socialism yet.
You know what? We all collectively have to start treating the NDP party, you know, in like New Year's when the kids are there and you buy a bottle of like the sparkling apple cider just so they could feel a part of like the champagne pop.
Yeah.
That's how we have to start treating them, is like they're just children at a New Year's party. That you get to stay up till midnight tonight, huh?
Yeah, and then you play the recording from last year.
Yeah, and then all right, now we can break out the ketamine and get some shit done.
Actually, you know what? It would be kind of funny if we had like a kids' table parliament where we just told everybody at the NDP that this warehouse on the edge of town was actually where Parliament got moved to, and then we just had a couple people there pretending to like do paperwork and stuff.
Honestly, we should just let children run it at this point. I think they would be opposed to that idea because they'd actually have good ideas where adults would be like, yeah, that kind of makes way more sense.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to be too far down the line before the NDP is openly advocating for the House of Commons to have chocolate milk and nap time.
Yeah, it would not surprise me, dude.
No, well, I mean, yep.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's funny, this whole Jason Kenney, Rachel Notley thing. I threw an AI agent at this for like a whole day, and I'm like, check, double check, put the whole list together, even everything tangentially. There are like, this is the whole list of every single time that either one of them has mentioned equalization, and in the notes, a bunch of them are them talking to each other back and forth. Jason Kenney mentioned equalization on January 30th of 2002 because he was concerned that an accounting error might result in the have-not provinces getting less. And on, of all days, February 22nd, 2002, he just used it as a cheap shot against a guy from fucking Quebec, saying that we've helped build Quebec for the last 40 years. That's the only times Jason Kenney ever mentioned it federally, despite the fact that he was in federal politics for like 15 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people who obviously don't care about this shit. And so, they look like they're on different teams, but they're all getting paid by Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah, man. It's so apparent now, like how quick all of them have poked their heads up out of the gopher hole, and they're just asking to, like, the weed whackers coming in there. The reputations of all of their, like, I guess, careers, if you want to call it that, are just being destroyed every time they've opened their mouths. Mm-hmm. It's like the perfect time. If you're just like far back enough that you're not attaching yourself to a political party, but have, like, political beliefs, you finally get to see like what these people are, and they're all frauds and phonies. This move right here is like perfect. It's a perfect description of, like, this is what politics is. It's like, hey, our jobs are at risk. We better fucking team up, because if this province leaves, our wage goes away. And that's, like, really the only reason why they're fighting for this.
No, it's, where's the solidarity in Canada when we try and get a pipeline built? Where's, when we're talking about how, the tariffs on Chinese autos are fucking over the canola industry. They don't care about it then. But they pretend that it's a big deal now. But, and I've said this on the show before, like, patriotism and this togetherness and all of this stuff, it's not something you can just put on and take off whenever it's inconvenient, like a condom. Like, it's got to be something that you actually stick with.
Yes, I agree. And it's, it's funny now because it's all like they're doing the same shit that they were doing during COVID when you didn't wear the fabric on your face. It's like, there's public scoldings going on with these grocers that have American products on their shelves.
Oh yeah.
The media is coming out and scrutinizing these people and trying to publicly shame them the same way they encouraged people during the pandemic to shout down those that went against it. It's hilarious. It's the same playbook. These people aren't patriotic. They're just anti-American, and they're masking it as their, like, what am I looking at here?
Oh, this is exactly what you're talking about.
Oh,
this is the CTV trying to shame the liquor company.
Yeah. And they're shouting down these fucking people for having booze on their shelves. They're trying to be like, trying to run their business. It's pathetic. And you know what? I made the big mistake of, not wearing the mask at times.
Well, your mustache, you could grow it out for another week or two, and basically you'd be filtering Pfizer, eye drop air, basically.
But I was on the being shouted out at, and where I'm turning it around, I'm finding all these grocers, and if they have any American products on their shelves, I'm going to beat them to a pulp with a Louisville Slugger. I missed out on my opportunity to be a real asshole to some people under the guise of, like, patriotism or public health and safety. So I'm getting in on it this time. I'm going to be, if you catch me, and then I can be celebrated, because you can't just go and assault somebody. You got to have a good reason. And if they have an American product on their shelves,
Yep.
You can suplex them through, like, we're talking top rope suplex, and the whole public will be behind you, you know?
Oh, well, I had to give him the razor's edge.
Yeah.
He was
He
shopping at
had a
Costco.
bottle of Jack Daniels on his shelf, so I beat him to death with it.
I love that. You know, the funny thing about a boycott, though, is you can't have a boycott unless the product is available to buy. Like, that's the whole concept. If it's not there, then you're not really, it doesn't really mean anything. If I go live in the fucking mountains and build a fucking cabin up there in the middle of nowhere by myself, and then I take a vow of celibacy, how relevant is that?
Then you're just a monk.
Right? Like, but if I'm 300 miles away from the next living human being and I take a vow of celibacy, it doesn't fucking matter. It's happening regardless. And that's the whole point that they're missing with this boycott, is it's got to be there for you to buy as an option before it becomes a boycott. Otherwise, it's just prohibition.
Yeah. Well, if all that pussy knew where I was at, I'd be beating it off with a stick.
You know what? If you're in the middle of the woods, you will be beating it off with a stick.
It's goofy, man. It's driving me, like, I shouldn't allow it to manipulate my emotions the way it is, but it does, and it does. I got to take a step back from time to time and not get so fucking worked up.
Yeah. Well, the trick is just to find the funny in it, and there is so much funny in what's going on right now.
It's hilarious.
We've got Doug Ford saying that Donald Trump can kiss his ass. And then when he's asked if he wants to walk back the statement, he's like, well, I've got a lot of real estate on that ass. There's plenty of room for him to kiss it.
Yeah.
Like, that's your walking back of this statement. And you're like, and then the thing about it is that you've got Quebec, Ontario, and BC causing the majority of this fucking trade dispute. And then they're like, okay, but we want Alberta and Saskatchewan to bear the brunt of it. So now that we've properly fucked everybody with our elbows up idiot dipshit, all this elbow dragging, now let's get Alberta and Saskatchewan to boycott or to close the taps on oil and potash. That's their solution. This is the 5'3" guy who picks a fight with you because his buddy is the bouncer.
Mm-hmm. It 100% is. I hope. Well, I seen that Scott Moe put the tariff on the booze. I hope all of them stand strong and don't leak this into, like, the natural resource sector, because dude, this is like the politics being played right now. Like, people's livelihoods are at stake. Like, there's gonna be job loss. There's gonna be fucking business shutdowns. It's gonna fucking affect people. And meanwhile, we're watching these retards argue about the name of a lake. I don't give a fuck about no name of a lake. Do you? When's the last time you sat there and, like, if there was a name change of a lake? They do it all the time. They're doing it here every week.
How many streets have incomprehensible nonsense words in them in BC now? That gets changed all the time for political reasons, but it's somehow a bad thing when Donald Trump does it. And, like, it's been going on for a long time, and now we're going to get into the fall right away here, and all the Alberta geese are going to fly south for the winter, and it just keeps happening.
Mm-hmm. Dundas Square. What did they change the name of Dundas Square? Yeah.
They named it after
fucking $9 billion just to change the goddamn name?
Yeah, to a place that actually takes part in slavery.
Yeah. How come when Donald Trump signs a piece of paper, the name change costs like $0 fucking dollars?
Actually, you know what? That's a really good point. I feel like Canadians can learn a lot from him.
Yeah.
Sean's muted, but he's still talking. Here, I'll hit the button.
I want to get your take on this because I'm like sitting here listening. I'm sitting in Quebec for Mashup 222, and I look over and I see this. That is a Porsche with a hitch on it.
Yeah.
About to pull a trailer.
So?
What? Are you kidding me? You've seen this before? Is that even a thing? I guess this is a thing.
Welcome to India, man.
It's got the towing capacity.
I guess so.
If it could drive 250 miles an hour down the road, I'm pretty sure it could pull an ultralight.
Well, there you go. There you go. Uncle Hack, thanks for hopping on and doing this. Thanks for being a part of 222. Any final thoughts before we let you out?
No.
You got it. Where's your next shows coming up?
I'll be in Vancouver September 10th and 11th, and then we've just had a big shift in the scheduling right now. You know, we were supposed to perform at the most prolific, but the boomers, you know, the most morally correct generation that exists in this nation, decided to step in, and that a show that they've never seen nor pretty much heard of doesn't align with their values.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, the show had to be moved to a much more, you know, respected location, and that's Peeler's Gentlemen's Club.
Nice.
You know, yeah. So we will be.
How many shows have you done in strip clubs?
A lot.
Excellent.
Yeah. So now instead of geriatrics serving you cold ones, we got G-strings, and we felt like that's a better move because I don't like to make my audience feel uncomfortable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a much more comforting location for them.
Well, that's great. Are you gonna be giving out Danger Cats lighters?
Of course, I roll up the poster, and you can throw a few at my hole.
That'd be excellent.
Uncle Hack, as always, thanks for hopping on and doing this. That's one way to end it.
What town is
folks.
that in?
Edson.
Okay, in Edson.
It's in
Ladies
Edson?
and gentlemen, bring some
Hell yeah.
loonies.
All right. Sir, thanks for hopping on and doing this.
No problem. Good seeing you guys.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no, I was just saying congratulations, you know, to Twos in the 222nd episode. Pretty rad, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right.
Yeah,
I keep cutting them in and out. And Uncle, and somehow he's gonna. My apologies, Uncle Hack. But it's funny. I'm like, bring on Uncle Hack, and he already knows this. I assume he knows this. I'm gonna get strong text messages at some point saying, "Never have that guy back on," and then I'm also gonna get some text messages that say, "Bring him back on every episode." And I love it every time. Anyways, you two have a. I'm like, he's got to be on 222. And you don't know this, but by you not being here last week, Uncle Hack couldn't be here. So it actually, you know, allowed Mr. Hack to come on. So there you go.
Yeah, well, I mean, last week was just kind of the stars aligned in the worst way possible. Although I was thinking that it would be incredibly hilarious to, you know, spend the better part of a decade obsessed with the number 222 and then
just never ever
21 episodes and then just bail.
Yeah, we're done. We're never going. And then everybody could talk about for the next decade. Like, I wonder if they're ever going to do Mashup 222. And yeah, of course. Okay, wait 1 second. You guys were talking about Lake America. It was pretty funny when it was the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
And everybody's chuckling about it and whatever. And now we're in this like spat with Donald Trump. And he's like, fine, we'll just take Lake Ontario, Lake America, and just rewrite it. Like, I'm like, well, this is what's happening here. You know, like wild times here in Canada, Twos.
And then the thing about it is that he's obviously just doing it for fun and doing it to get a rise out of everybody.
And it's working.
And everybody is taking it seriously. You've got, like, what the hell? You've got, where the heck is it?
You've got Wob Canoe.
Polyev.
Okay, yeah, Polyev. Yep.
Oh no, that's the supply management clip.
You got Polyev saying Lake Ontario is and will always be Lake Ontario, and no executive order will change that. It doesn't belong to President Donald Trump to rename on a whim. Our two countries have real trade issues that impact our people. Instead of responding to stunts and distractions, Canadians must stay focused on what we can control, making our economy strong and affordable at home, and using our leverage to fight tariffs abroad. You had Wob Canoe. I don't know if you want to show that video quick.
I mean, the point is that all of these political leaders in this country are taking it way too fucking seriously. There was one right answer to this, and it's to just say, oh, yeah, that's kind of cute that he renamed Lake Ontario. I'm looking forward to talking to him about it when I go to his country this summer and go visit the Adequate Canyon. That's it. Because of the Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Donald Trump's everything's like, oh, it's the biggest, it's the best, it's whatever. And then you just offhandedly mention the Adequate Canyon and then be like, peace out, right? That's it. That's all you got to do. That's how you win.
Is start having some fun with them. Just start having some fun.
That's the one
start
thing
having
that
some fun.
None of these people have done at all is stop taking themselves so incredibly seriously. Because for lots of Canada, not out west. Out west, we define ourselves by who we are. But out east, there's this not imposter syndrome. It's basically like a Napoleonic complex. It's this feeling of inadequacy where they define themselves by what they aren't. You know, they're that super short safety guy who's trying to just be a little bitch until you listen to him rather than coming at it from competency and confidence. And so that's what the politicians are playing into, because it resonates with half this stupid fucking country, is that it's not be proud of what you have or try and make it better. It's embrace the fact that we all suck and be super insecure about it. And anytime someone pokes us in that direction, we need to have an absolutely unfathomably poor response to all of it.
Jamie Sinclair's in. Jim Sinclair. He took
How's
some
it
time
going,
away.
man?
He took some time away from cutting his grass to come on to 222 and say hello. And I'm sure you've got some other thoughts. Jim, good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Congrats on the 222, two twos, two.
222.
It's a whole lot
It's
of
good
twos.
to see you.
Good to see you.
Man, I can
Yeah.
almost hear the grass growing behind
hey.
you, Jim, though.
Hey guys, don't you remember that retard we had down east, Trudeau? And he was saying that, hey, listen, we're not a nation. We're like some post fucking, we have no identity anymore.
Yep.
So I'm just curious. All right. So how many countries are in the continent of Africa? I don't know, like 30, 40 countries. I don't know how many there is.
Probably like 60, dude.
They're
It's
Africans,
big.
right? Yeah, they're
It's a
Africans.
freaking lot.
Yeah, we call them Africans, right? So how many countries in like in Europe? There's another 30 or so there. We call them Europeans. We are part of the Americas. Okay, like I don't know how I can cut or make this more simple or maybe get a map. We're all attached to the same landmass. So there's North America, there's Central America, and there's South America. We're all part of the Americas. So who gives a fuck? And the other thing is Trump's just doing this to get people all worked up so that fucking Carney can get votes. So if you're going to buy into this shit, it's so simple. Like fucking sticks and stones, boys. It's not going to kill us.
Yeah, you got to learn to laugh a little bit at this, right? Where he's
fuck yeah, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It's like all these elbow ups guys are going to get their elbows so far up their noses. It's insane what's going on.
Now, Jim, you wanted to, or Tuesday, got any thoughts before Jim brings up his party? I want to make sure that he gets to say a few things. But if you want to respond.
I want to get your take on this, Jim. So for those of you listening and not watching, this is a new article from the Miami Herald. Came out about 6 days ago. Jim, thoughts on this? Scarlett Johansson changed her magnesium supplement routine after a spray left her feet feeling dry.
Well, magnesium freaking seals the pores, so there's no sweat coming out. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
It was just the dumbest article I think I have ever seen. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I should just get Jim's take on this.
And the problem is people listen to movie stars and actresses like they're like gonna save them from all the chaos in the world. And those people are living in a different world altogether. They don't have the same issues as we do. Here, I got a question for you guys. Have you been following the Line 5 incident?
I didn't realize that was Line 5. You're talking about the one where there was the open excavation and the truck
that's
fell
Line
in?
5. So
no
right
way.
now, oil going into Ontario. Yeah, I don't know if it's flowing or not, but there's been an incident where a truck rolled into a ditch. That was an excavation on Line 5 and it damaged the pipe going into Canada. Now it's in the oil still flowing into the States, but potentially maybe not into Canada now. So
You're telling me, just so I'm hearing this correct, Jim. They had an open excavation on Line 5.
Yep.
And a truck went off and hit that excavation.
Hit the line.
In the middle of a trade war where the Canadians are threatening to shut things off.
Yeah.
And we all think do we think that's by chance?
Hey,
or is that the US going like, sure, we could shut things down?
Did they ever figure out who cut the gas lines going from Russia into Europe?
Nord
But
Stream?
there was that really suspicious text that went out in England like immediately after it happened. I can't remember who, but like right after it happened, there was just a text that said it's done or something like that.
I've had lots of different people on to talk about it, but regardless, what you just said, I'm like, so the US basically just called our bluff.
Well,
they literally drive a truck up, put it in the open excavation. There's no gas there or no oil going north anymore.
And here's the thing, like, and I get into this with old people around town here, and like, they're all upset about how Trump can speak for the United States of America. I'm like, well, that is because he's been elected by the American people to be the president. Now, you got Doug Ford. He thinks that he can speak for all of Canada, especially Western Canada, especially here in Saskatchewan. We're pissed because Ford is saying, well, then why don't you go buy your potash from Russia, which really means Belarus, and see how that goes. So Saskatchewan's like, fuck you. Don't even talk about our resources. Like, you deal with your own bullshit, and you shouldn't even be talking. It should be Carney talking for us, although we didn't elect him, but we elected the Liberals. The thing is, we got to get a muzzle on that guy, because if he shuts off or gets our potash canceled from going to the south, well, that's really going to help with independence in Alberta, but it's going to start some kind of shit show like that he won't have any idea how to get out of. So somebody's got to put a muzzle on that motherfucker. He's saying way too much shit.
I think when people are showing you who they are, you just let them proceed.
Not if it's going to affect us.
Twos, turn your mic up a touch. Twos, turn your mic up a touch if you can. It just seems a touch quiet. I don't know.
Wait, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Remember, Twos told me that last time when I was trying to turn my mic up.
I got her. I'll lean in a bit tighter. I'll figure it out when we're done. But
no, you sound better already. You just needed to, yeah.
Jim, you recognize? Does this look familiar at all to you?
Oh, fuck. Hey, this just goes to show you that there's people that don't know how to drive, even in Saskatchewan.
Oh, you know exactly what this clip is.
Oh, of course.
For those of you, this is
a Sunday event. People go down there with a 6-pack of beer to watch the chaos.
All right.
There's divorces, there's fist fights. It's fucking insane.
Okay, this is Regina Beach.
Yeah, park there.
There's I don't even know how you do that. How do you do that at a boat launch?
Well, what happens
and then there's not even one, there's two.
Yeah, but that guy's in face first. I don't know how he did that. Like, I don't know what's going on. I wish I could tell you there are people from not within Regina Beach. They come here from out of town, obviously, with their boats. But they're usually new at it, and they're in a rush. They've never been through the boat line before, so they don't have their boats prepared. So in their defense, there should be, like, when you buy a boat at at a store, the salesman should take you through a mock-up boat launching where you got to, like, back up, like, down the alley and then have your straps off, and the wife's in the boat teaching her how to put the engine down and start it up.
Yeah.
You know, there should be like some training. You know, like you got to do an online training thing, but they don't make you actually like learn how to launch a boat or recover a boat off the water. So that would be more that'd be better training than that online crap you got to do for your license, I think.
I see Corey's hopped in. Corey, we're going to bring you in too with Jim. We do have to get to Jim before I let you out of here. We got to talk about your bash, but I'm going to bring Corey in. So Corey, thanks for hopping in
Hey,
from on the
Corey.
road. Corey Morgan,
Hey,
joining
guys.
the show.
Morgan. Proud to meet you, sir.
Good to meet you.
Now, Jamie, just finishing you off here. Here.
There
I
you go.
tell
Classic
you,
tune.
It was like back to 1980 or 1990s. There was 2,000 people there, not one fight. It was this real amazing event. It was all because the pillars of our community stepped up in a big way and funded the whole thing. We had 9 different family members we brought in that lost a loved one in Afghanistan. They got to meet the men that were there when their loved ones were killed. So they got to hear about their last days in Afghanistan and how and that closed a lot of loops for those families. One of them are in their 80s, like they won't come back, like they're just too old now. We're gonna do it again in 2000 or the 25th. We're gonna do the 25th. And again, it was due to our pillars, and it was huge. It ever since Willie and I started doing this, every year we hear about somebody that was thinking of not being with us anymore, but because of what we're doing, it gives them a reason to keep kicking. And it was a beautiful event, and I really loved how we combined the soldiers with the family members that lost somebody, and more importantly, the people of this country that we fight for. And we all got to be together at the same event and just enjoy each other's companies and celebrate life. And it was beautiful. And if you missed out, don't miss the next one, because it's going to be a banger too.
Well, I felt like I missed out. So you're not having one next year? You're waiting 5 years for the next one?
No. So next year we're doing it again in July. So everybody's welcome to that. We're not going to have 11 bands, right? We're not going to do 11 bands next year, but we're going to have a couple awesome bands. Mm-hmm. And then the Redneck Parade, they came to the party after as well, and they're like, this is amazing. So we're going to do one August long just for the Redneck Parade guys. We had 2,000 people on the street. I had 3 Rough Riders in my float.
Nice.
And they're like, this is amazing. We love you people. Like they couldn't get over like how our community, there's 2,000 people on the streets, like getting hosed with water. And it was just a great evening and great group of people. And you could see by the video, it's like, it was just nonstop party. Like it was so much fun. And to this day, people are still texting and phoning and stopping me whenever they see me and telling me how awesome it was. So it did a lot of good for everybody.
Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Genuinely excellent.
Yeah, and sharing, Jim. Now you're free to hang out. I just want to bring Corey into the discussion. I assume Twos would prefer if we talked about, I don't know, Jason Kenney and some of the things going on in Alberta that pull Corey into the fray. But Corey, Twos, Jim, I'm sitting over in Quebec right now watching everything go on, and I'm just kind of like scratching my head from time to time.
Hey, while you're there, can you get some of our money back?
I brought it up with Uncle Hack, or we brought it up with Uncle Hack before you guys hopped on about Jason Kenney, Rachel Notley, that pairing, and you kind of just scratch your head. From afar, it looks super strange. I don't know, Corey, you're right in the middle of it. I don't know, your thoughts on what's going on with Alberta separation, independence, the referendum.
Yeah, well, from close up, it looks super strange too. I mean, we've got a socialist and an ostensible capitalist holding hands and moving forward, but they do have their authoritarianism in common. So I guess that's a binding factor for those two. Kenny's just getting to the point of weird. Just this morning I wrote a thing actually I write those fact checks for Rebel now. Jason
I
Kenney
didn't
came
realize
out.
that was you.
Yeah, that's me and Sheila.
Excellent.
And I'm diversifying. And Kenny came out calling Jeff Rath boss hog and calling people morons and stuff on X last night. Like, I'm actually starting to wonder if he isn't becoming a little bit unhinged. Retirement hasn't suited him very well at all.
It suits him better than the job he had, or it suits us
True.
better, I would say.
Very true. We don't need him back in a role there. But I mean, it maybe it's just me reading into it, but I do feel that the Federalists are actually feeling some pressure now. They're realizing one of the things Kenny's been coming out swinging at too, for those who are watching that, necessarily familiar with the referendum, but it's a non-binding question. And yeah, my third-party advertising group, I run one, is very much focused on send Ottawa a message under that guise. And that's where Kenny's been swinging as well, saying, well, it's not harmless just to send a message. You can't do that. You can't roll that way. But all that tells me is their internal polling is telling them that maybe some people are really getting rolling on sending that message for this October. And we might see something really interesting this year. Well, it's already been interesting.
It's been very interesting. You've got Nancy coming out and the establishment media all falling in lockstep reporting on it. The whole, now is not the time to have a referendum on separation, right? And it's just, I don't know if you guys have noticed that it just keeps coming up. This whole now is not the time to do the thing, right? Whether it's important or right or not, we're not going to address whether it's legitimate. Just now is not the time because we've got so much bigger fish to fry. Now is not the time to criticize Carney because of the trade war. We can't criticize Trudeau because we're living in unprecedented times. Now is not the time to vote against Aaron O'Toole because we need him to win. Now is not the time to export our oil. Now is not the time to defund the CBC. Now is not the time to criticize supply management or look into the Winnipeg lab leak or the origins of COVID. Like, we keep hearing this again and again and again. And they'll never run out of excuses if you keep letting them do it. There's never the right time to do the right thing is literally as soon as fucking possible, regardless. And to say, oh, well, you know what, we're worried about Russia, so we can't worry about this thing or whatever else. It doesn't matter. I'm sick and tired of hearing that excuse because it's fucking lazy. If you've got a good reason why something shouldn't happen, then present it.
It is lazy, but it's because it's working. It's working like a charm for Carney. He's been playing this trade war up for 18 months, and look at him sitting in the polls. Central Canada laps it right up. They say, well, yeah, sure, he's screwed up this and he's fucked up that, and he hasn't bothered dealing with this and he hasn't accomplished that. But boy, we just can't afford to change right now because the big bad orange man will get us if Carney isn't in the way. It's an effective tactic. And then Nenshi and Lukasik here in Alberta are trying to piggyback on that. They're saying we can't take on major decisions. We can't do anything different because this is ever more important to make sure that we rally around Carney. It's political tactics, and it's screwing Canada, but it's serving Carney very, very well.
Hey, I don't know if you guys will indulge me for a minute here. I feel like I could play the card because it's episode 222.
Yes, you can. And I just want to apologize, Corey. I keep muting you. We just have a little bit of background noise.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the truck. It's the air conditioning probably, but it's a little hot here in Pincher Creek.
Fair enough.
Oh, it's always the summers there are so good. But here is a clip of Nenshi, and it's a shame you're not going to be able to see this if you're listening and not watching. But look at how many fucking fast cuts are in this. Something's up with this guy.
Canada made the right call this past weekend to walk away from Donald Trump's terrible trade deal. Tough times need tough leadership. Tough times need a commitment to protecting Alberta families, jobs, and businesses.
And this isn't your audio. This is the audio getting weird on this, by the way.
Was to ban the sale of American alcohol products. But Danielle Smith, ever eager to please Donald Trump, decided to end the ban. Well, it is time for her to get on Team Canada in a tangible way, not just with her disingenuous words. So we are calling on the UCP government to immediately reinstate the ban on booze from the United States.
I'm going to add, it's time to call off the referendum. The Premier's pandering to separatists just shows weakness. It shows that Canada is non-unity. We've even heard the Parti Québécois, avowed separatists in Quebec, say you can't have a referendum while Trump is in power. It weakens us all. So if real separatists understand the danger of doing this, how come a separatist of convenience like Danielle Smith doesn't understand that danger? It is absolutely time for us to send a message to the United States that Canada is united, that parts of Canada are not ready and willing to be taken over by the United States.
And then maybe just go back here for a sec. I just want to show where all of a sudden,
Well, it is
Nancy
time
just
for her
teleports
to
over to the side here in this.
in a tangible way, not just with her disingenuous words. So we are calling on.
This was done in a studio. This wasn't a press conference. And there's so many fast cuts. I don't know if like his eye was just extra wandery or what the deal was, but that was just the strangest clip because that audio, nothing weird when you listen to that. That's just how the audio was presented.
Well, anytime anything raw of Nenchi has gone out, it's been underwhelming to say the least. I don't know if you saw that clip of him pretending to be welcomed by a parade in Lethbridge, waving at people and smiling, and everybody was looking at him. They didn't even know who the hell he was. His communications department, I don't know where he got them and what they're doing, but they are not doing the head Nenchi any favors. But
Sean
it
D'Amato.
really yeah, they scooped him out of the left wing of Alberta's media pool. But the danger and what he's talking about. I mean, could you imagine if you took away the ability for Quebec to hold a referendum? That's what made the FLQ disappear. You know, this is a movement that doesn't thankfully have any sort of violent or radical aspects within it in Alberta. And the way you create radicals, though, is to take away the democratic mechanism to bring about change. And I'm not saying that's necessarily going to happen, but when you're talking that way and saying, well, we just cannot even allow the discussion, we can't allow the choice, we can't allow the vote, that's actually very, very dangerous talk. And I don't know if Nenchi realizes that or not. As you said, he's been bizarre. I don't know how much he's realizing in general. People have been questioning his health. Not that he's ever been the picture of health.
Jamie, you're a guy with all, you know, you've seen some things, you know, when you hear Corey, and I think we've had lots of chats about this. When you talk about, or when you hear, like, you know, if you take away the democratic right to have a vote on this, a choice, it leads to it getting spicy. That's Chuck's terminology. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll say this. I've been to 3 or 4 civil wars, and it's always been this same small little divide that's created, and as it goes along, once you people lost that ability to have a say or a vote about the direction they want to go, and the government gets heavy-handed, that's when people start losing their lives, and there's at no time is there any time or space for that in our country or in our way of life. And yes, I fought for people to have a say. I fought for people to be heard. And when we had our gathering here, I don't know how many conversations were talked about Alberta independence. And as veterans, like the majority of the people I talked to, we're all for it, because if you're not going to get that chance to say yes or no, then there's going to be trouble down the road. And that's human. That's every look at every independence movement throughout the world. If they're allowed to have a say, it happens peacefully. It's either going to be a yes or a no, and we move on from there. But you can't just say no to a group of people that feel like they're not having a say, and they're being abused financially or economically, or however you want to put it. As veterans, we feel that the values and the morals that we fought for and we live by, they're being taken away, and that's bothering to a lot of us. And economics aside, our values, I feel, are above economics, and if we can see that brought back in Alberta, we feel the rest of Canada will have to tighten their belt, and maybe other provinces around Alberta would want to join them. So we just support you guys. We want you to have a fair and honest vote, and let's keep things peaceful, because once some idiot does something stupid, then we're all painted with the same brush, and we can't let that happen, like, at zero cost.
I think you're absolutely right.
I can't disagree with anything.
Yeah, I saw a video clip. It was a little long, so I didn't include it. But somebody was interviewing a lady at one of those Forever Canada pop-ups. She went there to get a sign, and she was just like, she's got her Forever Canada lawn sign, and she's talking about how it's kind of weird that, one side wants to talk to you about it and encourages the discussion and everything like that, and then the other side just won't have any sort of pros and cons or hear anybody out. And it just kind of looks like, I don't know how many of them are like that, but that lady looked like she's right on the verge of making the discovery that one side has a lot better arguments than the other, and that's the reason why they're trying to stifle the debate. She's got the brain worm. We'll see how far it works its way in.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing growth in this. Still, the polling for the true hardcore, we want out of the province, we're going to vote to leave no matter what, hangs around 30%, maybe drifting up into 35 range. But when you look at the alienation levels, when you're polling people on that, it's much, much higher. And that's getting closer to the 60% level. People just aren't ready to go that other move. But for being dismissive, when you have 1 in 3 people in a province already saying, we're done, we've had it, it's over. You're really, you're not talking about a 5% movement that you're inflaming. You're talking about a large one with a lot of rational people within it, with a lot of, they're not being hysteric. They're frustrated after decades of trying to change within and getting nowhere. So this next month and a half is going to be something like we've never seen before.
I think you're absolutely right. Earl says beware of false flag events. I think that things are going to get more dramatic as they get more desperate.
I don't see how it can't.
It's yeah, as you said, false flags. And I'm tend not to be on the paranoid end, but we've seen some of the tactics used on the convoy, things like that. It's not that hard to get into a town hall meeting and have somebody pull off a stunt or something like that, or unfortunately maybe a genuine lunatic just doing something bad. I don't want to see any of that happening, but this is going to become a very heated campaign. We're just warming up. After Labor Day is when things are really going to start happening. And when you look at the tone and the atmosphere already happening, it's let's just hope it stays peaceful and we have a good, solid Democratic choice.
I think so too.
Yeah. Yep. I'm a God-fearing man, and I pray every night for all the men and women that are involved with that are standing on the line and bringing us forward to people. It's it's something that this is definitely going to change it's definitely going to change the world in Canada, and it's got to be for the better. It can't. We can't continue to do what we're doing and expect to be a free and sovereign nation with China and India fighting for control over our resources and infiltrating our every level of government in the country. And this is a big reason why Trump has had enough of us. And I don't want us to turn into the Cuba of the North, because if we don't get our shit in order, they're just going to bankrupt us. So we might as well start fresh, create a new nation, and have a set of rules that are fair for all, and raise our families in peace.
Appreciate both of you hopping on and doing this. Jim had a final thought. Corey, any final thoughts before we let you out of here?
Just that I appreciate the invite. Good to see the big twos episode coming together. I was just thinking about that for when I met him. I think it was at that rally at the rodeo out in Bowden.
The Bowden rodeo that we weren't allowed to go to.
Exactly. And it's just such a symbolic, actually, that whole episode of showing how Alberta, guys, don't underestimate us. You can't tell us what to do. We'll just find a way around it.
Yep, absolutely. So you're in Pincher Creek. Are you making any notable stops anywhere in the next few days?
Nothing notable in the next few days. There's a rally in Edmonton on Saturday I can't make it to. Just right now I'm actually traveling on behalf of my wife, doing some stuff for her business. I got to understand where the priorities are sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Corey, appreciate you hopping on. Jim, appreciate you hopping on. Thanks for being here, gentlemen.
All right.
Pleasure.
Thanks. It means a lot, guys.
See you later.
All right, there you go. So that's roughly the first hour in the books. It does, I don't know, maybe it slows down, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I feel like we hit the pavement, flying off the back end of a trailer going 100 miles an hour, and maybe I over exaggerate just a touch. But regardless, twos, smash up 222. We got to have a little bit of fun, don't we?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
It's kind of the point here. You know who else is having fun? I don't know if you guys have seen
gentlemen.
There's tons of this. There's tons of this, but here's just a couple excerpts from people chopping down flock cameras. Look at these absolute beauties. 3 South Carolina teens arrested after allegedly cutting down a flock camera and smashing it with a hammer until its battery exploded. Here's some street art. You got George Washington cutting down a flock camera. And then there was I don't know if it just exploded or maybe it was my feed, but it seemed for like a week that all I was seeing was flock cameras, kind of like the same way that I went through that period where all I was seeing was news stories about people falling to their deaths. Now, here's an interesting thing. Have you been following that Lindsay Clancy court case?
Somewhat. I think Mel's following it more closely than I am, but fire away.
Well, it's really interesting because obviously her defense counsel is fans of the Mashup. So shout out to the lawyers defending Lindsay Clancy, the child murderer. Thanks for tuning in, guys, because their legal argument is, tell me if this sounds familiar. Tell me if you've ever heard anybody go full twos about this exact argument in Canadian law. The insanity argument is just this. 1, she had the thought and desire to strangle her children to death. 2, only an insane person would have these thoughts and desires. Therefore, 3, she was insane and can't be sentenced to prison. That's the argument. Twos has gone on at length about this.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
And now it's being...
Now
this is the Mashup effect,
correct.
folks.
Yes. Now we're joined by Drew McKay.
Oh.
A little AMC. You know, I never, Drew, first off, thanks for hopping on.
No problem. Glad to be
The
here.
esteemed counselor.
Twos gets mad at me all the time because he says I should interview different people, and I never give him enough credit. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. He brought you up, so I'm just all right. Twos, there you go. You first introduced me to Drew McKay.
There you go.
All right.
Sorry about your luck, fellas.
Yep. Sorry about your luck. That's right. Now,
Good to
Drew,
see ya.
how's Drew doing today?
Doing pretty good. Just in a council workshop today, so learning lots.
Well,
Yeah, you're just
you
so
may
clean.
You may recall, folks, like over the course of 222 episodes, there's been a whole bunch of people that listen to the show and listen to parts of the podcast and everywhere else that have actually got involved. Drew's one of those. So when you talk about we're just in a council thing and I'm clean shaven and I'm looking sharp, I assume it has to do with that.
Yeah, that's my third job.
Oh,
Just
you're the hardest working candy in town.
I don't know about hardworking, working lots anyways, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody quite works as hard as twos, but
Yeah. Well, again, it's more working lots than working hard.
Now,
Yeah,
Drew, we only got a few minutes with you. I know you got to hop back. Any thoughts on anything news related this week? The mashup, twos in general. I'll give you a ton of rope. You go wherever you want.
well, I think if we're going to get into any news of the day, we're going to be here for a lot more than 5 minutes. I think we're all on the same page that the clowns that are in charge of this circus need to be put back in their cages, and the rest of us need to probably take the reins for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I will talk briefly about twos and the mashup and the 222 minutes, my 222 cents, etc. I just rather than a roast, I'd actually like to give a lot of thanks for everything that you guys have done, because if it wasn't for you, so many of these issues would just continue to fly under the radar. You know, the drivers segment, sing for the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Coots boys, The list goes on and on. And when this idea of the mashup first came up, and I was lucky enough to be sort of there at the inception of this, I'm just, I don't know what the right word is, whether it's proud of you guys or happy for you, or, you know, really appreciative of where this has gone from, you know, pulling over on the side of the road, having never met Tooze before and barely met Sean, and discussing advertising strategies for the show. And, you know, at that time, not really having, you know, the foresight to see where this could go. It's been a pleasure to watch it grow and to see what you guys have done.
Really appreciate that.
I appreciate, Drew, you
Yeah.
taking 5 minutes out of your day to hop on and do this. I know you got a busy schedule, so unless Tooze wants to ask you anything, I just appreciate you giving us 5 minutes while you run between, you know, meetings. Else.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure over the years, Drew. I think it's really cool what you've done with getting involved with council. I definitely love to have you on to talk about, you know, was it what you expected versus, you know, like, I don't know, some of the things that work with it, some that don't. You know, as somebody with practical experience, you're kind of a bit of a unicorn. Basically, just you and Twist are kind of pretty unique in that sense. And I find it really fascinating every time I talk to him about the shenanigans that go on in this thing. Yeah, and you're a hell of a good friend, an interesting guy to talk to, and I appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you, sir. That means a lot. And I don't want to get into it at length. That is a conversation that we should have. And I think that a lot more people should understand what goes into jumping into the municipal level of politics, because everybody thinks, oh, I'll just fit that into my daily schedule. That's not the case. But yeah, it's been a learning experience and really enjoying it. So, but let's make a plan to do.
Well, let's
chat about
have
that
you
more in
back
the
on.
future.
Yeah, for sure. Drew, thanks for doing this and giving us a few minutes. Go back to your very busy day. And once again, thanks
Farewell,
for answering the
counselor.
call. Yes, coming on.
Thanks, fellas. Love you both.
Love you too, buddy.
We go from Drew McKay, the councilman, to somebody else roaming around in the countryside. All right, QDM, what are you up to today?
Guys, if you thought Corey Morgan had background noise, hold my fucking beer. We're tipping over canola here today, boys. Got a little bit of rain.
Like
we were trying to combine barley here yesterday, and then we got a little shot of rain, so knocking some canola down. Triple 2, congrats, boys. Like, how awesome is that?
It's pretty cool. Thank you.
Yeah. In honor of Tooze, obviously the legendary 222 minutes, I wanted to share a couple of my favorite ginger jokes with you guys.
Nice.
What's a ginger's favorite drink at the bar?
I don't
know. Pale ale.
Nice.
What do you call a ninja with red hair?
Invisible?
A ninja, obviously.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And what do you call a gentleman like Tooze that comes from a long line of redheads? Well, he's a gingerbread man, baby. And also, people might not know this, but we had I had been sharing pictures whenever our cow Triple 2 had a calf.
Yep.
And she's a black cow, predominantly having a red calf all the time. Unfortunately, this will be her last calf that she's raising this year. She has reached the end of her life, and we will be renaming our next most red and unmanageable cow Triple 2s as a tip of the hat to the matchup.
Perfect. If there's any stakes that come out of that retirement, you should pencil me in for one.
I'll tell you what, we'll start with the liver and then we'll go from there.
All right, I could do. It's been a while since I've had liver and onions. I'm game. Yeah. So actually, it's funny. I haven't had a chance to tell you this. I'm not even sure if you're aware of it, but it looks like we might be getting the team back together here next year.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
Well, we'll see if it all pans out. So it's not, nothing's totally official yet, but there's a chance that I'll be opening for your show coming up in Lloyd next year.
Oh, yes, I love it. I think we can confidently say that it was a quick tick show that got the cherry of your stand-up career. I'm right in saying that, aren't I?
Yep, it was. Yep.
Popping cherries everywhere we go, boys.
There you go. And you're wearing a Laird bunny hug. Any particular reason why you're repping Laird right now?
So listen, it's not the town Laird, okay? That's where everybody gets very confused about this. So this is Laird Whitetail Premium Supplements, and it's the boy's last name is Laird. And this is a guy from right close to home here. We used to play rec hockey together. Avid deer hunter, wasn't happy with any of the deer attractants that he could get, and said, you know what, I'm just going to start doing my own. And he's got his boys in on it now too, so it's him and his 3 boys, and they are pounding a ton of this stuff out. So if anybody out there is looking for premium deer attractant feed, these are the guys you want to check out.
Oh, so that has nothing to do with aren't you guys doing a combine raffle in Laird too?
No, see, it's that I wear this shirt and everybody thinks immediately that it's the town Laird, and it's not. But
right.
The combine the Combine Lotto deadline was for Foam Lake, and it was actually yesterday. So if you didn't get tickets, you blew it. But it's kind of funny. They started that lotto back in 1994, I want to say, and the grand prize was $300,000, and you could actually buy a combine with it.
Yeah, well, that was the
funny times have changed.
Yeah, like it was $250,000 or like $300K towards the combine, and I'm like, oh, so you could buy new tires?
Yeah, you might be able to buy a header maybe if it's used. Yeah, but no, what else is happening? Hey, shout out to Jamie Sinclair. That guy's a beauty, and that guy's in Saskatchewan. I haven't got the chance to meet that guy in person, and I've got to change that next time I'm down in the Regina area.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, it's not so far. And you're pretty good
as far in Saskatchewan.
No, it's all a hop, skip, and a jump. Actually, I was in Saskatchewan for an absolute whirlwind, just right in the shadow of the garbage hill for basically a day, and then I was just right at Blackstrap, turned around for a quick family wedding, turn and burn, and gone again. Yeah.
So, were your cousins getting married to each other, or what was happening?
You know what? Everybody always loves to rip on the whole cousin stuff, but you've got to appreciate how much courage it takes for the guy to actually make that move.
It does take courage, absolutely.
Because here's the thing. Yeah, sure, if it goes well, you get to marry your cousin and have 3 armed babies and stuff. But if you're putting the moves on your cousin, which is a necessary first step, and that doesn't go well, you will forever be the guy who unsuccessfully tried to bang your cousin.
That's true, But I mean, if you did wind up having kids with 3 arms, imagine how many things they could stir. It'd be incredible.
It would be great. It would be great. They could have a future in the WNBA. They could, the sky's the limit.
And I heard earlier everyone's talking about Trump renaming lakes and all that fun stuff here too. It's been fun week in the news, hey?
Yeah,
it's been a great week for episode 222.
Any thoughts, Q?
What would you rename?
I would not rename Lake Ontario. I would just leave it because everybody kind of knows where to stay away from. I mean, I don't know if I'd want anything to do with the water in many of those Great Lakes anymore. But I think it's just hilarious how it's just like watching a playground fight go on, where one guy pokes the other person and then the other person starts crying because they got poked unceremoniously by another person, and everybody gets all pissy, and then Doug Ford starts saying that we should shut potash shipments off down into the States because obviously he wants to control everything that's happening in Saskatchewan too. Doug Ford doesn't realize that we import most of our phos from the States, so the States can just do the same thing to us, and then we just be a bunch of dipshits not growing any crops north or south of the border. So I don't know. It's just like at this point in time, I'm so fucking checked out from this stuff because it's like it's a clown show every time you turn on the news. And so I'm just like, you know what? I've spent a lot more time lately with my cows and in the cab of a swather. And I must say, I think I'm turning into a pretty good singer in the swather too. I was just singing some Dolly Parton, "I Will Always Love You" before I hopped on here with you guys, and it sounded pretty good. Just tight.
That's nice. If you got some auto steers set up in there, you can play guitar too.
Air guitar. It's a tight cab. And I don't know if you know this, but I eat a lot. So with the size of the lunch that I got to pack to be in this prick all day, it's just tight to get a 6-string in here. Maybe I'll have to take up the mandolin or something like that.
Ooh, ukulele.
I feel like the ukulele is not quite masculine enough, but who am I?
But the people kindolin is?
Yes, thank you for being inclusive with the name of the instrument. I said. I never see. That's why I can't wait to have you open up in Lloyd there. Maybe we should just maybe I should open for you and you could be the headliner.
We would have a laugh out of it, but I don't think the people who paid to laugh would.
100%. Well, boys, I'm getting into some dicey stuff on a headline here, but I did want to just jump in and say, hey, like, just congrats, and you guys keep doing what you're doing. We're all pretty good friends. It's great to see you, Sean, and the fam, and be able to rip around with the kids when you guys came through. And man, whoever would have thought that we'd all still be buddies and shit would still be going on here this far down the line here. You guys still got the mashup rocking, and it's great. So keep kicking ass and taking names, boys.
It's wonderful. Thanks very much, QDM. And I'd also like to point out that one of the other people that I have been recommending Sean interview for a long time was BMA.
I'm not letting him take credit for that. I'm not letting you take credit for that. You've gone too far.
It was good. My dad still hasn't figured out how to listen to it, so I'm gonna leave the mystery to him. He'll get it figured out eventually.
That's wonderful.
Boys, peace out.
All right,
take care out there, boys. All
Thanks,
right,
buddy.
QDM hopping in, and then sticking with Saskatchewan. Lee's Merle. Come on. How's Lee's doing?
So good to see you.
Well, good morning, boys. I don't know how I'm going to follow up the sweet, sweet dulcet tones of a tractor in the background, okay, which is the best noise. Like just listening to the interview, the background noise from Quick Dick McDick had me just lulled into this nice little comfortable spot. But good to see you, boys, and happy Tuesday-versary.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
It's great to see you, Lee's.
Thank you. You too. You have been on, I feel like, the best adventure with your family, Sean. I'm so proud of you. Like
my only thought was, it's like sad because like you get to a place, and I probably could have just toured Alberta and Saskatchewan for a year and ran into all of you. I didn't have. I still don't have enough time. I never seem to have enough time in a place to get across the city, to interview somebody, to race across and interview somebody else. And so like I've kind of come to terms with it. But yeah, we've been having lots of fun.
Good, buddy. I'm so happy to hear it. And twos, just ripping her as always.
Oh, it's yeah, I was pretty disappointed we couldn't make it last week. Actually, last week was the first time that we've ever had to not do a show.
Last week is the first time, and like think about that, in 222 straight episodes where we missed, and I forced a miss because I'm like, I'm not doing the 222 without 222. That
would have been funny.
It would have been funny, but he made fun of me like 50 ago. I'm like, what are we gonna do for 222? He's like, dude, that's like a year away. And I'm like, but it
was
coming.
Let's just do a normal episode and just play it off as though it's nothing different.
Now, Lee's, we got to get your twos. I want you to show the WNBA video because I'm curious Lee's thoughts on this whole saga that's happening.
WNBA video because
you can show them all.
Okay, tell you what. Here we go. We'll start off with this. What is? Oh shoot! I got to bring it up. What is a woman?
What is a woman? Being a woman. Is not so black and white. and size doesn't matter. That's our motto.
Okay. What does being a woman mean to you?
Buckets. Buckets. Apparently us.
So good.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
so
So the WNBA has just been imploding on all fronts because I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, but they went through that thing where everybody was throwing green dildos onto the floor.
It wasn't a high point in women's sports, but yes, I do remember that.
Okay.
Yes.
So then it started happening again. It happened at a game last week.
Sorry, bro. And I just, man, and like, in most of these occasions, it's men. And I want you to know that is the gayest thing that you can do. Is to go.
The gayest thing you can do. So the league of predominantly lesbian people are using gay slurs against cis-normative human beings.
Yeah.
And then Enos Kanter got kicked out of a game, despite the fact that he apparently hadn't even broken any rules. He was there. Check out the shirt he was wearing when it happened. Woman, noun, adult, human, female.
Uh-huh.
And so this whole WNBA thing has been spicy and fun, and I'm here for every minute of it. What do you think?
Me too. Oh, I'm here for every minute of it too, because if anything, the WNBA is a cautionary tale about what happens when you put all women in charge of an organization. Okay, this is what happens when there is no male influence to right the sometimes hysterical and psychotic leanings of women at their worst. Okay, the WNBA is all of it. And so I love that this issue is having a bigger spotlight being put on it because of athletes like this. Because for men, like, it's really hard. It's actually exceptionally difficult for women to convey to men why it's important that we have our own spaces, why we have our own change rooms, bathrooms, sports, place in society, right? And these guys are proving why we need those protections and how this has got away. And I've said this for years. This whole thing will fall apart when we speak to men in the language that they understand, which is sports. Okay? Men understand sports. It is the language of men. We all know this by every statistic under the sun as it pertains to sports viewerships or sports sponsorships or sports in general. Men love sports the best. And if we can show men through sport how this is having a terrible impact on women and how crazy it is, well, this is great. This is just like a perfect intersection to explain to men why this is all important. And so I welcome it. And I'm really proud of those athletes. In Alberta, I don't know if you guys know this, but in Alberta, your women's powerlifting records are mostly held by men.
Yep.
And the only reason it's not one man that holds the records, but two, is because the coach of the Alberta women's powerlifting team saw another dude enter a, what would you call a powerlifting meet or a powerlifting competition? Excuse me. And he went, wait a sec. He's like, that's a dude. And they were like, yeah. And he was like, well, but they were like, he identifies as a woman. He was like, I identify as a woman too. And he entered his own athletes competition strictly just to make sure that they didn't have to watch this guy walk away with all of the Alberta records. It's important. It's just an important issue. And I'm so happy to talk about it with you guys. Thank you.
Well, it's so neat, especially with this, because I mean, there's two different ways you could go about this for peak comedy, which I find really interesting. Because one of them is if you got just a regular dude to play in the WNBA, and he would probably still put up really good numbers. Like some guy who, I don't know, maybe he was
like He's on like the men's rec team. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he shows up and, he's consistently putting up numbers. And then the other way to do it is get a couple absolute beasts in the sport to go in there and play. And that's exactly what's happening. This is a Clydesdale identifying as a pony.
Yeah. Oh, it's almost like a regular white pony masquerading as a unicorn. Almost.
Oh,
like
you
that.
hit it. You hit it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is incredible. But like when I think about it, wouldn't it just be so hilarious if this is just the future of sport? Like where you can just bring like I would do that for my daughter right now. Like I'm thinking of recruiting some retired Saskatchewan Roughriders to just show up and identify as 8 years old and then play with my daughter and her teammates on their flag football team. Like dominated. We would dominate you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
It would just take one dad to show the hypocrisy of this for us to just storm through the season. And you know what? I'm there.
That's real tricky. I was I played flag football. Why did you kick me out, Sean?
I'm clicking random buttons. I was laughing too much on this side because I'm like, Lise Merle, GM of the year. And it's like,
yeah, exactly.
9-year-old flag football league signs 4 Saskatchewan Roughriders to go rough up some girls.
Yeah.
And she has her banner.
Imagine Ryan Getzlaff in there, like, nobody else is even coming up to his waist.
Don't like I very much want this to happen. I very much want this to happen, and we could make it happen, and maybe we're gonna.
It would be a lot of fun. You got to be careful though, because like it's really easy to light somebody up when they're significantly smaller than you. I played a little bit of flag football as an adult when I was in Calgary, and there was this one time I remember we were playing this team called the Rice Rockets, and they were all Asians, and there was one of the girls on the team might have been 90 pounds, right? Like just that classic super petite Asian chick.
Tiny, yeah.
And so you're just kind of like, I can't even really get near her because I'm just going to mow her over. And so there was this one time where I was covering her, or while I was coming in as safety, and so she'd managed to get past her coverage. I was coming in, and I just kind of stopped right before I just let her catch the ball first.
Yeah.
And then so she catches the ball and then turns around, doesn't look up. She takes like 2 big steps, and I'm just standing there like this. And I got my hands out. She takes 2 big steps, crashes right into me, and falls over. And then it's very nearly a brawl. And I don't want to fight a bunch of Asians because they all know Kung Fu. And
right. Yes.
Obviously. But they thought that I had, somehow messed her up. And I'm like, I just stood there and she crashed into me. I wasn't even moving. My feet didn't move.
Yeah.
But she just boom and bounced right off. And it was like she hit a wall. Not because I'm some amazing wall, but because she was itty bitty 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 bitty.
Right. Yeah.
So,
that shows the difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That shows the difference. Yeah. Yeah. We could. I still say that we should do that. I still say that we should just chase this idea. Just sign fully grown men up for my daughter's, specifically her flag football team. They would love it. She would love it.
Own the bit.
But then you got to put out a video like the guys just did with the WNBA, where you just sitting there and like, we're gonna dominate the league, and then it's like we just went and signed this person, we went and signed that person, and you got to get them all. You got to make it like legit hilarious. All at the same time.
I've got 7 names in my head right now of people that we could approach on this issue.
Fur coat, but you gotta totally own the manager thing. We're talking fur coat.
Momager, you guys, I'm the momager. Hey, you see this stack of books right here? Can you see it?
It looks like a globe.
It's a globe on top of a stack of books.
Yeah, on top of a stack of books. And one of those books is by Kris Jenner, okay? Mother of the Kardashian Empire.
Ah, yes.
I take my momager roles real seriously, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I do in life. So I think that challenge accepted, boys. Okay.
Wait, isn't the mom of the isn't that Bruce Jenner? Isn't that Caitlyn Jenner? No,
I'm pretty sure it's still the dad. Still the dad.
He is stunning and brave, Sean. Just like Enos Cantor. Okay? Stunning and brave.
And it's interesting too, is because like typically men take a more accepting view of Bruce Jenner. I call him because he's a man, because of his influence in sports. So they're like, well, I know the Bruce Jenner went that way, but he doesn't believe that we should be in women's spaces. And yet it was the promotion through that show that made it socially acceptable. And like, we're not acknowledging that. So they're intricately tied in. Oh, I've seen every single episode of it. That and the mashup.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Kardashians in your morning, and then you get closer to lunchtime and you flip on to the mashup.
That's right.
Or vice versa.
That's exactly right. Yep. That's exactly right. It used to be John Gormley in the morning and Dr. Phil in the afternoon, but we've just changed things up around here. Yeah.
The state of the world has me and Twos in the morning. That is funny. Yeah.
The world misses John Gormley, by the way.
Thank you. Yes, we all do. I mean, some of us do. He's great, you guys. He's living his best life. So
that's good to hear. It's good to
hear.
Well,
Lise, any final thoughts before we let you out of here? We appreciate you hopping on and making a little bit of time for us. I'm happy. We had a couple stories or a story to follow with you, but you've been watching the news as well as anyone. Is there anything that sticks out to you? You want to make sure the audience knows about, or you want to banter with Twos about, for Pete's sake?
Well, I mean, it goes without saying that this conversation could be a 32-hour conversation, because there's just so much to talk about. Mm-hmm. But I just want to say how proud I am of you guys in your relentless pursuit of the truth, and for sticking up for the beautiful twin provinces of Saskatchewan and Alberta. And I look forward to when we can see each other next. Before I leave, I wouldn't be a good female guest unless I complained about something.
Okay. All right. I'm all ears.
And I recall at the Bondsfield this last winter, we were like, we got to plan a summer thing. We got to have a slow pitch tournament. We should take over a town, we said. Like take over the campsite, take over the ball diamonds, just like do her up. And that didn't happen this summer, Twos and Sean. But if it doesn't happen next summer, okay, there will be hell to pay.
All right.
I will make you pay it. So we're making plans, and I look forward to seeing you guys next, no matter when that is.
Sounds good, Lise. Appreciate you hopping on, and great seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you too, guys. Bye. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're joined by, I believe, our final guest. I'm going to say our final guest, Chase Barber. Why not? Coming in. It has been a while.
It's been a little bit. How's she going?
It's going good, man. How have things been? I was just thinking about you the other day and wondering how life has been with your bureaucratic purgatory.
Oh, the bureaucratic purgatory is going. We got an exemption, so we can build the hybrid trucks up till 2027, and then they're going to look at a more permanent solution. So we got like 2 years we can build hybrids. Keep doing it. We got full approval from Environment Canada to build mechanical trucks, so we're building those. That's been the latest truck. They're just normal 18-speed semi-trucks. Yep. Same as every other truck on the road, but yeah. No government issues currently. Government issues in 2 years from now, but that's a problem for future, Chase.
So you can put it off for a little bit.
I can put it off for like 6 months. You know what? I got through one. I'm just gonna take a little, like a month, and just kind of just enjoy the win. I'm gonna just enjoy the win before I lose my mind.
That's probably fair. Now, Twos, I'm looking at the headlines, and we've got weather, we've got drivers, we've got heist, and we've got Lake America, because I mean that's kind of all the rage, all across Canada. I don't know where you want to take Chase. We got Chase for a few minutes. You could show the penis-sized hail. You could do the drivers that I have not seen. You can do the heists that we love to do. I don't know. You fire
How
away.
much do you love heists, Chase?
I like heists. I've been trying to plan my own heist for a while now.
I know, right? Every time I walk into I'll walk into a building and be like, I wonder if I could get through that ventilation shaft, or oh look, they've got that door doesn't have a thing on it or whatever else. I'm always just thinking about it. I'm probably never gonna do any of these things. But
I know I've been trying to, but like the thing I've been planning a heist on is a church, and I don't know if stealing from like heisting from a church is okay, but like we bought the town of Donald, BC. And in the 1800s, the town of Invermere, there was a church here. And the town of Invermere, their congregation didn't have a church bell. So what they did is they came out to Donald in the middle of the night over 100 years ago, and they stole the church bell. And they took it down to Invermere, an hour south. And that's how they got their bell. And now the church still has the original Donald, BC bell. And we're like, it would be so much fun to plan a heist to see if we can steal a church bell. Like, I'll give it back. I don't want to keep the bell. But God, do I want to plan a heist to try and steal the stolen bell.
Well, yeah, and they can't get mad.
Right? It's our bell. Like, we bought the town. I think it's our bell still. It's just getting back some stolen property.
Yep, absolutely. That would be so much fun. Okay, so how big is the bell?
To have a great story about stealing a bell. Oh my goodness.
It's a pretty big bell. Like it's church bell sized bell. Like I don't know how they did it in the 1800s because it's gonna take like a few guys to carry it. Like I don't think it's a bell that you can like just pick up with like 5 or 6 guys. It'd be like 8 guys to carry a bell. So you're gonna need some kind of equipment.
You need a picker.
I mean, you need like some kind of picker, but a picker's too obvious for a heist. Picker shows up. They're like, oh, why is this picker and crane at the bell? No. We got a team of engineers. We could probably figure out some series of rigging that looks like an old historical church rigging, that if we could set that up in some kind of scaffolding, I bet we could get the bell out. Because we can't raise suspicion. You have like a week between church service to church service. There's still going to be a minister and a pastor. And he's like, what are these people doing on the bell? We got to get in there and out without having
6 days.
Yeah, we got 6 days to complete this heist while also not being noticed by the church minister.
Okay, are there any other tall buildings in the vicinity?
No, it's standing alone in a big grass field.
Okay. Have you been up into the it?
No, I've just driven past it. Like I haven't been able to get like a tour to check out the bell because I don't know how to bring that up. Be like, hey, for no reason at all, can I check out the church bell? Because I feel like if you asked to check that out and be like, hey, remember those guys from Donald that came by to check out the church bell? Yeah. Now like the bell's missing a week later. Yeah, like obviously they're like so you can't blow your cover. It's not like you're casing a casino where there's 10,000 people walking into the casino.
That's fine, but the thing about it is you've probably got low security. There's probably a camera facing the parking lot. And so, and that's going to be roughly about it. What you need is a honeypot for the recon section, right? So you got to get your Julia Roberts. You've got to get your Charlize Theron to go in there. And if it's a Catholic church, maybe George Clooney, right? But you get them to come in and distract this. Well, it's a fair point. You got to plan this out, right? I mean, the honeypot's got to match the bees.
Yeah, I didn't think about the video security. I was more concerned about the security that exists with an old Catholic church, because you know that there's going to be some 70-year-old lady that's paying attention to everything. You know she's watching everything in the community like a security guard at a casino watching his monitor. She's watching everything. Who's that car that pulled up to the church? She's on Facebook. Why is there a strange pickup truck at the old church? Who's there? Are they having a meeting? She wants to know. She's curious. She can't mind her own business. She's got nothing better to do. She's retired. How do you get past that security? You can't honeypot an 80-year-old woman.
Across the street, you have a dog taking a crap on her neighbor's lawn and not cleaning it up at the same time.
Yes, that would be a distraction. She will lose her mind. Oh, get some kids with loud exhaust, too.
That happens. You get your 14-year-old male honeypot to talk to the priest, and then you just sneak in while nobody's looking, and then you can look around and check it all out, and then you sneak out before that honeypot has a chance to stand up straight and the spell is broken while the dog's pooping over there. There's your recon. That's phase 1, right? This is
how long can a dog shit for? Because I imagine if you're trying to remove a 400-pound object down a series of flight of stairs in a building built in the 1800s. Okay, just recon. Okay, recon. But we need the distraction for the heist, and I feel like the heist is going to take a while. Like, do we do it at night? Because then if it's lit up with lights, and I don't think it's safe to carry like a 600-pound bell down a flight of stairs in pitch blackness, and if we light it up. she's gonna
night
notice.
vision goggles.
She's old.
Also,
She's in bed by 8.
That's okay. So she's in bed by 8, but also she's going to be at Smitty's between 7:30 and 9:30 every morning.
Morning
You know,
heist.
Chase, what Twos, I did not realize this until this very moment, which Twos likes better than talking about heists, which I didn't think there'd be anything, is planning a heist. I think you've just lit him up for the rest of his day. Planning a church bell heist. If Twos has disappeared on Mashup 223, we all know where he went. So you guys have all just screwed yourselves by talking about everything on the Mashup, because now they're gonna know. Right?
Oh,
But now you're gonna
really?
know.
Do you think that little old lady sitting there
Probably.
with her binoculars, making sure that the petunias and
Trying
in
to
her
get-
neighbor's house? Yep.
Trying to
Do you
get
think she
Twos to
listens
stop
the
taking
mashup?
the Lord's name in vain. Yeah, I do think the 80-year-old is listening to the show going, he's coming for the bell? Yeah. No, I think you hooped yourself.
And now we're just
already.
giving some 80-year-old woman just a ton of anxiety listening to the mashup.
Because here's the thing: is there is going to be that one woman who is exactly what we're describing, and she's going to listen to it and be like, "That's me." Like, they're watching me.
Yeah, and then she starts planning it. She's she's waiting up. She's got the priest on lockdown for.
Yeah, she starts going to Smitty's in the afternoon.
Okay. Moving on from heist, because I know we just spurred
Okay,
on both of you. No.
let's talk about the
Drivers.
actual
Let's
heist.
talk about drivers. Let's talk
Okay,
about
well,
drivers.
I got one video here real quick. You're never gonna guess what happens to a video from a dash cam in Canada. Okay, look at that car. Oh, it's driving along. It's driving along. What could possibly go wrong? Well, starts swerving and kabloomy. Takes out the light pole.
Oh. Where was that, Twos?
I want to say Kelowna? Kelowna, yep. So,
All
somewhat
right.
your neck of the woods.
How?
Why?
I don't know.
I've
Just
been
guess.
I'm all the way out in Quebec, and to date, the strangest thing I've seen has come on the 401 between Toronto and Detroit, where the
Oh,
trailer
that
tire
highway's-
was off, and it was just going down the road by itself, and I was watching. I'm like, the heck is this? And then it hit like a little divot in the road, and it jumped like 15 feet in the air and smacked a sign. And then further up, a guy was yelling out his car window at the driver saying, "You lost a tire." Anyways, and he was stopping. That's the strangest thing, and I put on some K since July 5th.
Man, drivers are getting worse and worse and
Yep.
worse. I am more certain now than ever that like we probably need some high speed rail and public transit, because nobody, like, it used to be even 15 years ago, you weren't watching TikToks all day on your phone. You were actually paying attention because there was nothing else you could do on the phone other than making a phone call or making a text. So people had to pay attention because that was the most interesting thing, was watching the road. Now the most interesting thing that they're watching is their fucking emails, their kids, their things. So it's like, I heard a great marketing idea, and it's like trains and public transit are marketed the wrong way. They're marketed in a way of, we're just going to get you to A to B and get you there in the crappiest way possible, and it's a cheap, affordable alternative. I think now, like with how busy I am with the business, I would almost pay more if it was a more luxury experience. I think that we need to rebrand public transit to be like, hey,
It's a chauffeur.
instead of having to drive, you now have a chauffeur. You can take the high-speed rail. You can have a table. You can lay your laptop down on the table. You can work while riding on the train. I don't care that I could get there maybe a little bit longer if I could use that minute for a downtime. I could watch those little TikToks. I could do what I need to do. Like, I could answer my emails. Like, I feel like we're missing an opportunity, and I guarantee you, if we were to get more high-speed rail, get more trains, more buses, more public transit, we would eliminate like 90% of the bad drivers on the road, because I think there is a direct correlation between crappy drivers and people that just want to play on their phone instead of actually driving, and that like the driving is just wasted time for them. So let's let them waste their time in a more comfortable setting. Like, we just need, if we want better drivers, we have to make buses and trains more comfortable.
That's interesting. I think you're gonna run into there's a lot more headwinds facing, high-speed rail, for example. The billions of dollars already spent on it for not a meter of track laid.
Oh my God, I've seen that. I was looking at that one, and you're like $8 billion to do a study, and then we looked at the price of what they did like per mile in China of like how long. I'm like, how much would this cost to lay out this track if we were if this was in China, and China could build the entire high-speed rail system for the cost that we're spending to see whether the high-speed rail is feasible. And like you look at that and you're like, hold on, for the same amount of money that we're spending doing this study, they could actually build the high-speed rail. Why don't we just get the Chinese over here to build the railway? It worked in the fucking 1800s. It'll work now.
Well played. Well played.
Wow.
That's what Canada needs more of is deaf Chinamen.
We could probably blow less some of them.
Yeah. Safety's
I'm
come
never
a long way.
getting invited back on this podcast mashup.
Yeah. Every time someone drops an absolute banger like that, they're automatically being invited back. So yes, it's all good.
All right, one more thing. Do you want to talk about weather or Lake America? You want
I
Lake
want to talk
America?
about heists.
You want to go back to heist? All right.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back to the heist.
All right, let's
Okay.
go back to heist, you two.
Chick-fil-A worker who stole $80,000 worth of mac and cheese reveals why he did it.
Because mac and cheese is delicious.
Yes. Also, when they had a thing, he used to work there, and you could do like platter orders, and mac and cheese was the most expensive one. And so when he was there and people weren't looking at the till, he would go up to the till, ring one in, and then refund it on his card, and got himself $80,000 worth of just free money, but got caught. So yeah,
Idiot. He could have had mac and cheese and instead gets a theft charge. Because no one would have noticed if he was just eating the mac and cheese.
that is very true.
You are correct.
and it's delicious.
It is.
I've had the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese before. It's
so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Men buy tickets to enter museum before stealing 200-carat platinum and diamond necklace, Vienna police say.
Yeah.
So this has become a series over there of like smash and grab jobs in museums.
Yeah, so these guys stole a 200-carat platinum and diamond necklace with 673 precious stones worth several $1 million. And do you know how they did it? They didn't have their faces covered. They bought their tickets. They went into the museum and used a hammer to break the glass. And then when the glass was broken, they reached and grabbed it and bailed.
That's such a fucking lame heist.
See? This is exactly what we were talking about with the jewelry heist in Ontario. Same
Like,
page.
If you're good, like, I want to do a heist so bad, but like, I don't want like the criminal charges involved with the heist, and I don't actually want to steal anything. I want to plan the heist. You mean these guys are willing to do the whole fucking heist thing, do the stealing, do the fucking robbing, but they don't want to do the planning? Like, that
No
planning
sense
has
of
to be
flair.
the fun. No.
No, nothing. Like, one of the coolest heists we've covered was these Germans bored through a carport or like an underground parking lot into a vault over Christmas, and you should have seen the the craftsmanship. That hole was exactly perfectly circular. Like, it was just
Those
so
are Germans,
incredibly
of
well
course
done.
it is.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then these
But like,
guys,
I'd be proud of the heist. Like, it'd be almost one of those ones where if you get away with it, you'd want to be like, God, it's fucking still kind of cool.
yeah. Like, can somebody please catch me so that I could brag about this?
God, like, you don't know how hard this is gonna go on a podcast in 10 years when I get out of prison.
Yeah, exactly. But these guys, I don't want to tell the security people at this Vienna Museum of Applied Arts how to do their jobs. But if someone's carrying a hammer and they're not obvious, like, because here's the thing, if they're doing the fake disguise as a work crew, that's something, right? At least that's something. Yeah. But these people are just going in as guests, as spectators, and they've got a hammer with them. You're not going to ask any questions.
And like, also, why not? Like, you're telling me that there's 200-carat fucking diamonds and jewelry, and they're like, whoa, this is priceless. It's worth so much money. Hey, should we invest a little bit more for the Lexan? Or you're like, no, just get the fucking normal household glass. That's the protect. Like, because they use like a Lexan, you'd criminal would have just looked like the idiot he is, hammering on a piece of bulletproof glass, and you'd be like, sir, you need to leave. Like, plexiglass isn't even that much more expensive. It's like that little bit of cost savings. Like, I'm sorry, but that's a shitty heist. It could have been foiled with an extra $20 worth of fucking protective glass, and it wasn't planned. Like, no, the worst heist.
You're absolutely right. It's a shitty heist. Although I will say sometimes you can find really cool exploits in things that get overlooked, but not something as lame as just the fucking cheap glass, right? But you know, where they're like, oh wait, you know, there's this vent shaft behind the elevator, you know, that was supposed to be taken out during construction, but it's still there, or whatever else, right? Like those things, you know, that tiny little oversight that you can exploit can be very cool.
You know who I want to hear on a podcast for heists? My favorite one is still the biggest heist in Canadian history, which was maple syrup.
There's been a bunch of podcasts detailing what went on with that. I mean, it was so
but
cool
I want
'cause
it. I know there's podcasts detailing, but I want to get the guys that did it on a podcast, because you know there's some French Canadian fucks that yeah, but them French Canadians like that English accent, like I guarantee you that would go hard as they talked about their entire scheme. Like I would listen 100% to some drunk Quebecois tell us how he stole $20 million in maple syrup. Like, because you need tank trucks, like you need like heavy equipment if you steal $20 million in maple syrup.
Keep in mind, it didn't all happen at once. They were gradually, over several months or something like that, switching it out with sugar water a little bit at a time.
See, but that's still 20 million. Like that's a clever heist. Like,
yeah,
there's planning involved. I respect that.
Yeah, and it's a bit more than like Shawshank, you know, where he just kind of like takes the little bits of rubble and scatters them around the yard, right? Like this is a little bit more than just filling your pockets every day, right?
I just want to insert. Did the Step Brothers? Did we just become best friends? Yep, and carry on with life. We have 9 minutes to go, which means
$4.5 million in jewelry stolen in French museum heist. A familiar tune. Jewelry heist took place in a French museum, July 5th. Musée Lalique in France was robbed of around 20 pieces of jewelry worth about $4.5 US. French newspaper Le Monde report that around 5:30 a.m., see when the old ladies are off, a gang of masked thieves forced their way into the museum before smashing six display cases of jewelry. And they're made of crystal gold, semi-precious stones, and cannot be melted down. The robbers remain at large. So, yeah, there's been a string of European brazen heists that sometimes are awesome, like using the slow chair to make your escape from the Louvre. That was like just beep, 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 beep. That was awesome. But
did that happen?
Yes.
Yeah. When the Louvre got broke into last year,
we covered.
They used like this man lift, and so someone actually got a clip of the guy as he was making his escape but it wasn't like a regular man lift. It was doing like this slow.
Oh, I remember that
thing.
now. Yeah.
And it's like the chair. It's like the chair that goes on stairs for old people.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
What a bunch of idiots.
That was the last heist, I think. Yes, that was
okay.
The last.
So before we finish up the show, Chase, is there anything going on with Edison you want people to know about?
Things are going pretty good. Things are just rare. Yeah. Truck's doing well. It's been going through its testing. We're just doing a CMVSS testing. So far, it's passed all the tests that need it. BC Hydro is now hooking up. Do you see that whole thing on BC Hydro? Like fucking taking forever to get power. Okay, if we got a couple minutes, I'm going to tell you one last story about how we got our electricity, because it's now going well. We were not getting our interconnection at all. They weren't approving our permit. Like, it's fucking 8 months. And then I looked it up, and there's 7,000 megawatts worth of industrial customers like us in capacity that want to be connected to the electrical grid that are not connected to the electrical grid. So, like, that's sawmills, mines, factories, manufacturing, businesses, industrial use that wants to be connected, not getting connected, over 7,000 megawatts. We're 1 megawatt, so that's 7,000 of us looking to be connected. But then old BC Hydros are like, you know what? We're going to approve a 1,000 megawatts for AI data centers, and we're going to approve all these. You're like, hold on. They're like, it's going to create jobs. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that 7,000 megawatts worth of sawmills manufacturing is going to create way more jobs in these data centers. And at the exact same time, BC Hydro put out this ad that's like, basically, you're a superhero. Install low flow shower heads. They're going to use less electricity and use less water. And you're like, you motherfuckers want me to have a shitty shower that barely rinses any soap off because you want all of this water and electricity for this 1,000 megawatts of data centers because it's going to create jobs. Meanwhile, there's 7,000 megawatts of industrial customers that actually hire people for good paying jobs, not getting approved like us. We're still running a diesel generator. And I did a TikTok up on this, and I threw that TikTok up. And then they reached out and they're like, yeah, you got to take that video down if you want your permit. You're like, you can't have that video calling us out. So I ended up taking that video down, and lo and behold, the very next day I got the electrical permit, and they're now installing the electricity in the shop.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah. Like, why are these data centers so important? Oh, it's going to be jobs. I'm sorry, but the other 7,000 megawatts is more. Oh, well, it's going to do, but use less shower. Like, it's just so stupid. It's like we're living in the movie Idiocracy or something. It's like you can't ask people to have shitty low-flow showers to save electricity so that you can give these billionaire dickheads from fucking India a data center in downtown Vancouver.
But data centers got what plants crave.
Electrons. Or electrolytes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was the latest one we got through, but you got that. So.
That's a good win.
Is it a good win? It's a win, but like it doesn't. It feels.
It shouldn't have ever
dirty.
happened.
Like it feels kind of icky. Like I took the video down, and I'm like, such a good video, calling it. And I'm out, and I'm like, I took the video down so that I could move ahead with the company, and it's like, man, I've exposed so much corruption and so much bullshit, and then they're like, yeah, but if you want to save your company, you got to stop exposing it, and I'm like, fuck. So like you get these little tidbits, and they're like, okay. There's got to be some kind of file with like CSIS or the FBI or CIA on me at this point.
Oh, I'm sure there is. There's
I'm
one
sure
on
there
all
is.
of us.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think they want the data center so much?
Right.
Well, Chase, thanks.
I know you guys tune in to every episode.
Chase, thanks for hopping on and saying hi on a Mashup 222. It's good to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while. This is awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Take
Well,
it easy.
appreciate you coming on and talking some ice. I think you just made Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
I'll be in contact after this, and we'll plan out this YouTube.
I've got to tell you, I talked about it on the show once already, so I'm not going to get into it now. But the Royal Canadian Mint, I have it all planned to steal that gold bar that they have in the gift shop.
Okay. I'm down. I feel like there's more legal consequences than the bell, but it could be fun.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
All right. Catch you guys later.
See you, Chase. All right. Mashup 222. I know we didn't get to everything Twos had planned. And somewhere he's like, I'm going to rattle through this in 2 minutes and 5 seconds. But you're not, Twos. You're just not. Because, well, I mean, I tell you what. You can try. You have 2 minutes, and then I'm starting to play the tune. So figure it out and get going.
All right. New Brunswick just posted its deficit, $1.6 billion. After you account for equalization, it works out to something like $9,500 per person deficit. You're spending too much fucking money. You can't afford it. Wisconsin parent got kicked out of 9-year-old's football game for tripping one of the kids who was about to score a touchdown. You can see him there. And then here's the picture where the kid wiped out. He got mad at the kid for some reason, and then that happened. And then we've got the Mariners lost 22-0 to the Brewers a little bit. Dude forgot how many outs were, threw it into the stands, gave him a home run. And West Kelowna woman charged with starting 2 fires near Vernon, latest in climate change, and this is great. This is typos, people. This is why grammar matters. Shout out to Kevin. You spell check. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penis-sized hail possible. Okay. Now, I guess we got to get into community notes after this, don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right. Because that's the episode.
What
are you grinning about? What are you?
Do we have any happy news?
Oh, no, I fucked up.
That's okay.
I missed happy news.
222 is happy news. Mashup 222 is the happy news. You've got a bunch of things. You got articulate.ventures/IBC. That's Vance Crow's courses. You can go there and get taught by, pretty sharp individual. He started the show off today, and a shout out to him for hopping on doing that. What the heck is Sydney Sweeney and Vale's new fancy britches company?
Well, that's exactly what you're asking about. So, Sydney Sweeney has a new lingerie company, and we've got a few clips to watch about it. But yeah,
this
Sydney
is the happy news, or this is
this is community notes. It's important that everybody knows that Sydney Sweeney has a new lingerie company, and they offer all kinds of delicious goodies. And we just want to make sure that everybody who listens to the mashup is aware that Sydney Sweeney has a new lingerie company where you can buy fancy underbritches. And we've got another video of it. Here's her with some real nice
That's the
cakes.
same video, too. This is literally
It's
the
a clip
same
from
video.
it, same video and same video. Fine, but it's all different angles. Now here's another interesting one, and it's, I don't know why X does this every once in a while, but mosquito air defense. Photon matrix built an iron dome for mosquitoes. It scans a 20-foot 90-degree field in front of the unit and targets using LiDAR, radar, and AI vision to confirm targets. And it laser beams mosquitoes out of the fucking sky. Prices start at $1,000 or $1,088, and this is what it does. And it laser beams all of the mosquitoes out of the sky. I think anybody listening from Saskatchewan can appreciate that.
That sounds really interesting.
Tate McRae, native Albertan, just launched her new Calvin Klein campaign. So, again, important community notes. Tate McRae, Calvin Klein teaming up. Here's the thing. Nature's healing. We're going back to having attractive women selling clothing, and I think that it's important that the community is aware of that. Also, John Cleese is touring his Not Dead Yet 50th anniversary of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, including shows in Ontario. Yeah. Montreal, Hamilton, Kitchener, which is a nice way, it's a progressive conservative. It's the new woke way of saying woman. Kitchener, Ontario, Toronto, Ontario, Hamilton, Montreal, and Ottawa. So thanks, John Cleese, for coming to Canada, but not getting within 3,000 kilometers of us. And again, we'll be talking about this every week leading up to it. Independence Rally, October 17th with Keith Wilson and Tanya Clemens. And then also there's the rally. I saw it mentioned in the comments too before. And then also Corey mentioned it. There's a rally Saturday, which is tomorrow at the Edmonton Parliament.
And one more, Vermilion's inaugural hometown celebration. That's Vermilion, Alberta. Nate Haller is going to be there September 3rd, 2026, Vermilion Ag Grounds. So there you go. That's coming up as well. We'll get the image here as it gets closer popped up on the screen for you, but something to keep on your calendar, September 3rd, if you're in the Vermilion area. And I got one more. It just came in, so I might as well. Let's see here. I might as well. I know Two's going to have his thoughts here until I get it pulled up. Here's one more that just came in.
Yeah.
Hey, Twos. Most people know you to be a jokester and a prankster, I think. But I've had the blessing of getting to know you over the last number of years, actually going back to the Maverick Party days. And I find you to be an incredibly intelligent, smart person, Twos, and just always appreciate your friendship and your take on things, and just wish you all the best.
There you go. There's one coming in from Kenny Rutherford. So there you go.
Thanks,
Mashup,
Ken. And actually, and just real quick, just don't just mash. Don't just
Mashup
mash up
222.
there was a lot of people who sent some really nice videos at the start, and we got right into it, and I didn't have a proper chance to thank them. And so I really appreciate it.
Well, I was trying real hard to have them roast you, but nobody seemed to want to do that. They all wanted to say how great you are. He's so great. I'm like, do you understand what you're doing to his ego, folks? We need to knock him down. We need to knock him down a peg or two. But regardless, twos, Mashup 222 in the books. I can safely say when we started this thing, I don't think any of us were thinking we were going to get to 52, let alone to 222. And you know, I chuckle about it because I asked you about this a while back. I'm like, man, we're not anywhere near there. What are we? Let's do a regular episode. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I'm glad we got to have some people chime in, and thank you to everybody who did chime in. And my apologies if I didn't get to some people, then try and get them on. I tried my best. I hope it worked out. I hope you enjoyed the show. The Mashup is here every Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, when Twos chooses to show up, that is. The rest of the time, it does go on. And we appreciate Twos saying what a lot of folks are probably thinking but don't want to say. And Twos, thanks for hopping on and doing this. And we'll catch up to you on the next one, good sir. Mashup 222.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this ride.
Until next week, folks. Until next week.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit to stand and fall to fly. Of all of my impulsive plans, popping, locking, salsa dances on demand. I follow leading off the map and stop the chatter, scream happily.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Welcome to the Mashup. Welcome to the